All right, it's time for Jim George, also known as Professor Gadget. Jim is in the studio with us right now. He is our go-to guy for technology, whether it's about a gadget that you are holding in your hand or maybe some gadget that's built into something else. Maybe your TV has a gadget built into it. It's not unusual these days. This morning we heard about an app that'll help you know where the International Space Station is at any given time, which is, what was it called again, Robin? Oh, never mind.
Heaven something.
Heaven above, heaven-above. Good morning, Jim. How you doing?
Fine, thank you. Fine, thank you.
Plus, I have some things, I'm not going to read this whole thing to you, but I have some things the Pentagon spent money on.
Oh, boy.
That are all gadget-related. So I thought I would share some of them with you, and they're not cheap.
Fine.
If you spend money, if you're the inventor of a gadget and it takes off, you could make money. Even an app.
Exactly.
And an app is not a tangible product. An app is intellectual property. So I got to think of an idea, some kind of an app that'll make some money.
Exactly.
So I can help raise money
Let's go for it.
For the Larry Whitler Foundation.
Well, I do have an app that I have multiple apps on a different cell phone. I use this cell phone strictly for calls. But I have a cell phone that has a little larger screen, and what I use it for is, let me turn this thing off, is for satellite finding. If I want to find out where the DirecTV satellite is or any other satellite, I hold it up to the sky and it shows me exactly where it is. And it has a GPS built in, so it tells me my longitude and my latitude, where I'm at. And then it tells me, look up in the sky 27 degrees and look to the left at 245 degrees.
Right.
And there it is.
So I have a question about those satellites.
All right.
That I think I know the answer, but I'm not sure. A satellite that is stationary in the sky is really not stationary. It's really spinning at the same speed the Earth is, right?
It's traveling at the same speed.
Yes,
it
traveling.
does spin.
I don't mean spinning. Yeah, I said but I mean it's going around the world.
Mm-hmm.
So as if it's directly over New York, for example, it's always going to be directly over New York.
Right.
Which means sometimes it's between the Earth and the sun, and sometimes the Earth is between it and the sun.
Correct.
Okay. Does it ever shift?
It does.
Okay, so it wobbles. There's a little bit of
It wobbles.
error or something?
It wobbles like a figure eight.
Oh, it does.
Not up and down figure eight like an eight, but sideways figure eight. And so what happens is when we aim a satellite dish on the ground, we have to know what part of that figure eight is the satellite in. Is it right in the center where it crosses over, nice, or is it at the extreme?
So do our receivers have to be adjusted every now and then because they move?
No. Once we determine where it is in the sky, whether it's in the center or left or right of the center, then we adjust the dish accordingly so when it swings back to the center, that's the optimum signal strength. And then there's a toll-free number that I can call, and it's really an RCA Thompson telephone number, and that's called station keeping.
Huh.
What they do is they tell me exactly where in the orbit the satellite is at this moment.
Oh, wow. Isn't that cool? And so that would be something only a technician like you would have a practical use for. I wouldn't have any reason to use that, right?
Right, exactly.
Have you ever thought about sending something up
No,
in space?
too much
I mean,
money.
that would be pretty cool.
You know who did, though? Ralph Cramden.
Oh, yeah.
He had a thought about sending his wife up into space.
Yeah, a moon.
You've been to a lot of conferences, and
have.
there is another conference coming up in Las Vegas about all of the different technologies that are out there. How do you manage to make sure you visit everybody and then give everybody your field of expertise?
Yeah, I try to do every other year. So this year, the National Association of Broadcasters is in Las Vegas, and everybody's sending me emails wanting to know if I'm coming, and I say, no, I'll go next year. This year, there's only so much money in the kitty that you can travel on.
Right.
So,
I've been looking for that kitty, by the way.
Yep. So I'm going to the National Cable Television Association in Chicago in May, and that's the broadcasters themselves, like Fox. There's Fox is a network. That would be at NAB, the National Association of Broadcasters.
Right.
But
right.
Fox is also a programmer, and that would be at the NCTA, the National Cable. So all the programmers, HBO, Showtime, Stars, they will all be in Chicago in May.
Huh, okay.
So that's where I'm going in May. So
See, you
have
get
some-
around. See, I don't get around. I need to get around. The lady in here earlier, she went to Paris.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
go. You get around. Everybody gets around.
Yeah.
I don't even get to Daytona anymore. I don't even get to Cedar Key anymore. But I do it virtually with my gadgets.
Yeah.
I do. I sometimes do.
And apparently the Pentagon's got gadgets now.
Oh, you knew where I'm going. So listen to this. Listen to this. 5 things. I'm just going to tell you 5 things, okay? The Pentagon spent your tax money on these following things. 19 Gray Eagle unmanned aerial vehicles. 19.
Wow.
These are Predator airplanes or
Right,
whatever. They paid the manufacturer General Atomics $132 million for all 19 of them. That doesn't sound like a lot, does it?
Boy, bargain.
Yeah.
Gosh.
And then the next thing is the Humvees. They bought 160 Humvees for the Iraqi army. $32 million.
Oh, my
$32 million.
gosh.
160 Humvees for the Iraqi army.
I thought we already gave them equipment.
They bought, are you ready?
Yep.
$84 million worth of hovercraft. Hovercraft. The Marines used them for amphibious assaults on beaches.
Right.
There you go.
Okay,
And
now
then
I
they
can
bought
see.
some robots.
Oh.
They bought $430 million worth of surgical robotics systems, instruments, accessories, and upgrades.
Wow.
Right.
So your job is safe.
Yes.
People who know technology is safe. And then the last one is a top secret.
Oh.
Oh, but do you have it? I mean,
The
gosh.
Pentagon, let's see, they have not issued what it is, but this is what they said. On March 3rd, the U.S. Special Operations Command signed a 5-year contract with Johns Hopkins University Applied Physics Laboratory to perform research into theoretical analyses, exploratory studies, and or experiments in various fields of science and technology and engineering, unquote.
Gosh.
They are spending $405 million on that very vague description.
Gosh. And I thought we were supposed to be transparent.
And it says here, P.S., we may need Professor Gadget to help us put it together.
Yeah.
Of course.
Whatever it ends up being.
I
Yeah.
know. You got to go there.
Just thought I'd tell you.
Johns Hopkins.
All right, you have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Jim George.
Good morning, Mr. George.
Good morning.
You know, you're talking about all this stuff that we're getting ready to give the Iraqis. How about the stuff we already gave them? We left, I don't know how many M1A1 Abrams tanks, and the last time I read anything about them, there's still a lot of supposedly secret technology in these tanks, but we left them there so the Iraqis could turn around and open the hatches and run away and leave them for the ISIS to take over.
Yeah, but I think that was
So,
intentional.
Not for nothing, but I'm paying taxes, and I'm in my 70s, and I don't like paying taxes to a government that doesn't represent me. They'd rather represent everybody else in the world, but the guy that pays their bill and
Could
pays
be.
their salaries.
Yeah.
But I just think that the technology today is just phenomenal, and every time you turn around, there's something new, and it's to the point now that I don't want to know any more about technology.
Amen. Isn't that the truth?
Yeah, right.
Isn't that
Have
the
a good weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sonny.
Bye.
But you have some. What do you have today?
But what they don't publicize, by the way, is that because they don't want to publicize it so the whole world will know, they have commands that they can turn off those tanks in a second. They can turn off all this
Well, I
stuff.
think it's just to
that-
mislead them. I think the whole thing is to mislead them.
I mean, if some group got into that tank and started to do something, they shouldn't do, they just send a command to that tank and say, shut off.
Yeah.
And they just shut off. Or they could destroy the entire tank, maybe with a kill switch of some sort. Anyway, so what I brought is very simple. A lot of homes, the electrical wiring is not done properly. You may have added an electrical outlet of your own. You may have ran some wire. Well, this is a little device you can buy. It's about a $7 device. Sears may even sell it. But what it is, you plug it into your outlet,
Right.
and it's got these lights on it. And these lights will tell you if you have a good ground or if you have a good neutral.
Oh, really?
Or if there's a problem with your electric at that location, it will tell you. And so What we do when we go into a home and we do one install or one something as a courtesy before we leave, we'll maybe do half the house because, there could be 50 plug-ins in that house. And if we see a problem, then we'll tell the person, you need to have someone come. If it's us, fine. Check your electrical panel because you've got an open ground, you've got an open this, you have a short, and that little device will tell you. And that's unbelievable.
Well, I just tested the outlet next to me,
Yeah.
and it got the 2 yellow lights on the right side working, and the little guide says that's correct.
Yes, there you go.
So these outlets are okay.
Yes, they are okay.
Wow, that's cool.
And here's a little gadget that we use. It's really a TDR, time domain reflectometer, but what it means, it'll tell you how long a piece of wire is. So let's assume
Oh, wow.
you have to pull out an old wire and put in a new one, but you got to buy the new wire first because you don't want,
Right.
all right? All you have to do is clip onto it and push a button, and it will
That's-
say that's 157 feet.
Wow. I never heard of such a thing. That is cool.
That is neat.
Yeah, plus if you have some wire left on a spool yourself and you don't know how long that wire is, you don't have to unroll it and measure it and then roll it back on. You just clip on the one end of it.
Really?
And it will tell you exactly how long that wire is. Don't plug it into something.
No, hold on. Let me. I just want to say. Hold on. I just want to try it right now. I want to see how long this wire is that goes out to the parking lot.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. We need to take a little break.
Wow.
That is cool.
That is
I never knew there was
really
such a thing.
cool.
Yeah, it's about $59.
Now, are all wires? Let me see. They're not all the same
Wow.
thickness. Wouldn't that have a?
Right. Well, this is plus or minus 10%. So if it's at 110 feet, it could be 120 feet.
Oh, okay.
But
All right, we'll take a little break. I know you have a call, so just hang in there, caller, and we'll be right back with you and with Jim, and we'll do that after this.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Beautiful Good Friday with sunshine and a warm afternoon high of 83 to 87. Clear to partly cloudy tonight, low 58 in a few inland spots, 65 on the coast. Tomorrow, partly sunny and warm. There can be a shower with thunderstorm in the afternoon, the high 83 to 87. And for Easter Sunday, breezy and cooler and a bit less humid with clouds and sun and a high of 78 to 82. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hi, Danny Werfel here. Get moving with Florida Credit Union's fast and easy loan approval process.
Let Florida Credit Union start up a new car loan for you today. No more waiting, hassles, or stop signs. You can even apply online. With a strong financial team behind you, you can enjoy great rates and fast approvals.
It's all about personalized service and a streamlined process.
Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life.
Real estate is the largest and most personal investment that any of us will ever make. Be sure to tune in Tuesdays at 10 a.m. when Bob Kennedy, owner of Berkshire Hathaway Home Team Realty, will be answering your questions and discussing real estate. So remember, that's Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Call 622-9622 with your questions. It pays to be an informed buyer or seller. This is news you can use from Berkshire Hathaway Home Team Realty and your friends here at WOCA.
All right, 18 minutes after 9 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Jim George is here, and Jim, you have a caller waiting patiently, I hope. Good morning. You're on the air with Jim.
Good morning, Jim. This is Sonny again. To hear about this technology it reminds me of my former life there. We had to import a device from Germany. It was all in German. Fortunately, the boss could read and speak German. And we hooked it up through sphere gaps on a very high voltage cable. And there were no T's in this. It was just a straight run. So that was the only way you could measure the distance of that particular cable or wire. And you had a thing called propagation that you had to it was like a multiplier.
Right.
And that took in the size of the cable, like 500 circular mils, etc.
right.
And it was a big, long, drawn-out affair. And if you came, well, we're talking thousands of feet, so if you came within 100 feet, boy, that was darn good accuracy then.
Yes.
But it's amazing. Now you can buy a gimmick and just plug it into an outlet or whatever. It just boggles my mind.
Yep.
But anyway, again, it's amazing how these things have been miniaturized and compartmentized, and all the guesswork is taken out of it.
Yep. The chips.
Plug it in.
Wow, it is amazing, isn't it?
Technology's come down to microchips.
Thank you, Sonny.
Yep.
So you know what came to mind, Jim, as I was listening to Sonny talk, is that whenever we have some new technology, there has to be other technology so technicians can test our new technology, right?
Yes.
It's like when you go to get your computer or your car even, there's a gadget to test your car. There's a gadget to test my gadget,
Right.
right?
I'll give you, for instance, when I was working at Microdyne years ago as the chief information officer, I met a gentleman that made a satellite amplifier, and the satellite amplifier went up to like 6 gig. So you could, you have megahertz,
Right.
and then you have gigahertz, so it's thousands of hertz. And he brought it into Microdyne, and they were fascinated by this amplifier. Man, this thing would amplify satellite signals, and then they said, well, how do we test it? And he goes, well, you have to have a spectrum analyzer. And they say, you realize a spectrum analyzer back in those days was like between $20,000 and $30,000.
Oh, wow.
There's no one going to buy a spectrum analyzer
Okay.
to test, this device.
Right.
So what he had to do is he had to go back out, and within 6 months came back, he'd invented a spectrum analyzer
Oh, wow.
that only cost $1,000 and used all the cell phone type chips, because cell phones are up in the high frequency. And so what happened was Microdyne did not buy the amplifier from me. They bought the spectrum analyzer from him.
Oh.
And they sold thousands of them because nobody had a spectrum analyzer for $1,000.
Oh, wow. Yeah, really.
And then I brought in a low-tech gadget. This is really neat.
What is that?
Well, think about it. It's an overall. So you
And-
want to do some work.
Overall.
I keep these in my car. So let's assume you have a flat tire. Let's assume anything.
Right.
And you're dressed to go someplace. Look at this. You just put this on over. They come in all sizes. And you can get those at the dollar store. A Dollar
Yeah.
Tree for $1.
I was, well, that would
Really?
help. That
Isn't that
would
neat?
help me out. I usually carry like jeans in my car.
do too.
And I was all dressed up. It was a Sunday. I was going somewhere. I was all dressed up, had a flat.
Yep.
Pulled in. I was lucky. I was by Walgreens. Pulled into that parking lot. Went in their bathroom. Changed into my jeans.
Right.
Came back out. Changed the tire. Then went back in and washed up and changed my clothes because I was
Exactly.
going somewhere fancy. So that would
We
help.
should have a coverall party where everybody just comes wearing just these things.
Yeah.
That would be fun. You could see through them.
Are they see-through?
No undergarments. I love that.
I could take the dog out in this.
You could. This is a good idea, Jim. I'm going to get this for my car.
Yeah, I just
I'm-
carry
I'm
one of them.
gonna
I
get
think
that for
everybody
my
should have one
car.
in their car.
Can you try it on right now? Can you open that up and put it on?
Well, the only reason I keep it closed for, you know how these things are, once you open them up, you can never get them back in the bag.
Yeah.
You ever seen those little rain jackets? It's a
Oh,
little
yeah.
pouch about this big.
Right, yeah, I know.
2 inch by 2 inch.
Yeah. Right.
You open them up, you put the rain jacket on.
Right.
You cannot close that thing in 12 by 12 Ziploc.
Well, I would buy
No.
one. I wonder if they have my
Can't do it.
size. All right, let's go to the phone. Good morning. You're on the air with Jim George.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Hey.
Don't you have a dress down day on Fridays there at the station?
Yes, they do. Be
Good.
a good idea to wear the overalls.
Oh, that's a good idea. We're going
Yeah.
to get
There you
some
go.
for
So
everybody.
casual Friday?
Yeah. Put
Yeah,
the real
flip-flops
new
and
casual.
shorts.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be a sight,
There
wouldn't
you
it?
go. Hey, last week you guys were talking about those old-fashioned TV sets with the big tubes
Yes.
that you could take. I can remember my dad taking the tubes to the store to have them tested to see if they're good or not or replaced or whatever. I've got a chance in the family. Somebody's got an old Philco radio that dates back into the late 30s.
Yes.
And it's being stored in a closet. And last heard about maybe a year ago when she plugged it in, it still worked. Can you get those tubes replaced for those radios anywhere?
Sure, no problem.
Really?
Oh, yes.
I'll be down. Where would I go for that? On the internet or?
Well, yeah, the internet would be the best bet. We get magazines and catalogs sent from us. And like in my case, I used to repair TVs and radios in my younger days. So when I quit doing that about, at least 30 years ago, I still have boxes and boxes and boxes of tubes. Brand
Oh, my
new,
gosh.
still in the box,
Wow.
never open.
Wow.
But there again, no one's ever asked me for them, and I don't, So, but there are people that buy all those old tubes for like $1 a piece from me, and then they'll sell them to you for $10. But think about it, your radio will not work without that $10 tube, so you'll be glad to buy it for $10.
Right. I guess those tubes last forever, right?
Well, it depends how long they've been on, not how long they've been off.
Yeah. Well, this particular radio goes back to the late 30s, and it's a beautiful piece of furniture. But I'd like to have WOCA on it.
There you go.
But just for the looks of it itself, it doesn't.
They
have
are
a
nice.
scratch on
Old
it or
radios do
anything.
have a nice
and,
look to them.
like I said, she plugged it in about a year ago, and it tuned up and everything. But I was just wondering, in case I would get it, and I wanted to play it, and they couldn't get it to work if I could get replacement tubes for it. But I guess I'm in the okay, huh?
Yes, you can get tubes for it, no problem.
All right. Thank you, here.
Thank you.
Do you know what he reminded me of, though? Well, first of all, I want to tell you this. In WTMC, before it closed down, that was an old transmitter.
Right.
And they actually had a tube, I am not exaggerating, bigger than a bleach bottle. I mean,
Klystron tube.
maybe
yeah.
twice the size of a bleach bottle. It was huge.
huge.
And it was very expensive. And if it ever went, then the whole station would be off the air.
Yep.
And so we had to buy another one. And it was a 1972 transmitter.
Right.
And this was now 1990 something.
Yeah.
So it was very hard to find.
Right. Yeah,
So-
Klystron tube. Yeah, we we used to test those by taking a neon light bulb and holding it in our hand, and the closer we got to the tube, the brighter the neon.
Oh,
light bulb
really?
got, yeah, because it emits that much energy in
So
the air.
if it didn't, then you knew that it was going bad.
Right.
But if something sounded like it was wrong, and it did light up the bulb, then you had to figure out what else was
Well,
wrong.
there were other meters.
Did
that
you ever
we
work
used.
as a radio engineer?
I did. I have a license. I'm an FCC.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to call you sometimes.
I just don't do TVs and radio.
I think so.
I moved on from that era.
By the way, he was talking about dress down there. I have a real quick story. I used to deliver newspapers for the Star Banner. And not as an individual delivery guy, but I would deliver the bundles.
Right, to the-
And one of the bundles went to Monroe Hospital. Robin had a friend named Gene Day. So whenever I'd bring the papers on Friday, I would hear somebody say, "It's Gene Day in the hospital." I said, "Oh, gosh, the guy's still here."
Yeah.
I said to Robin, this guy's been in the hospital for about 6 months. It turned out it was Gene Day. It wasn't that Gene Day was in the hospital.
It was Gene Day.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would always say is
Like
Gene,
blue jeans.
because
Right,
I would
right.
only bring it on Fridays. They would always get the Friday paper. Well, they got it from other people on other days. But I would always say, is Gene Day still here? Oh yeah, all day long. I said, gosh, the guy's still here. Poor guy. I don't know.
I know.
Must be in a coma.
Yeah, it's dressed down. Yeah, sometimes I'll go into a store and a place of work, and I'll see people just dressed so mishap, and I'll say, "Is this a casual Tuesday or whatever?" I mean, what is it with you guys? A lot of high-tech people wear stuff.
By the way, the X-ray glasses that you used to see in the back of the comic books,
Yeah.
there's now an app, and you just basically aim your phone at somebody, and it'll show them naked.
Really?
Have you seen this thing?
No.
Really?
It looks about as good as those X-ray glasses look, too.
Wish we had a pair.
Well, I know. I mean, what timing, right?
Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. Yes, you have to show Jim the radio in Joe's office. That's my
Yes.
Sears radio that I've loaned Joe.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. Okay, doke.
Yes.
Yeah, that is cool.
Fine.
I am a big fan of old radio. I love radio in general. I like the little ones. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I have some old radios and old clocks, the real old clocks, and I just like them. My wife doesn't. She'll put them in the attic, but I like them.
Will you be able to get radio stations over your TV as a radio station?
We haven't gotten that far yet, only because radio stations are so easy to get. I mean, you can just remember when we were here with Dave Ashworth a couple of weeks back, and he told you that he had an app for radio stations. I think you wrote it down.
Yes.
Literally, when he went on there, even WOCA was on there. And when you click it, it came right. Your live streaming, he heard. Isn't that
That is
something?
so amazing.
Literally every radio station in
Wow.
America is on there.
wow.
That is so
Well,
amazing.
if you want to find out what's going on over at American Cable Services, you have to call Jim. We didn't even ask about that today.
Oh, look at that hair.
I know.
Give Jim a call. What's your phone number, Jim?
854-9795.
It's spring break.
Looks like we
Wow.
we ruined another half hour.
That's Easter eggs.
Oh, it's great.
Easter egg colors in there.
That's right. It's Easter weekend.
Wow.
Thank you, Jim. It's always
I've
fun.
heard of Easter eggs being colored, but I don't know.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 90.